Good morning. One of the questions that people ask of me sometimes is, why didn't the other shop work out? Why didn't you take over the other shop that you were already leasing as your hobby shop and run it as your own business, especially if the other guys were thinking about leaving? Some of you knew, some of you don't know. I'm here to tell that story. Now, the rest of that story, first of all, I rented this place out off of Facebook. Seen that there was a shop that had a bunch of bays and they weren't busy enough and they wanted to rent out some more room. So I went out and I rented out some room. Help them pay the bills, kind of do some of my hobby work, do some side jobs there, which I did do some side jobs, and I met a lot of good people through the shop. But I found out about 7 or 8 months ago that one of the partners that was already there wanted to split. So I go in and I talk to the guy that's in the place, and I said, "So you're hurting pretty bad right now." "Yeah. I can't do this on my own. I had no experience running a business or even in the automotive world before my partner came, and he was supposed to guide me and mentor me and help me along in the business, understand how the business works, fix people's cars and stuff like that." I said, "Well, every job that comes in here is like a friend or a buddy. It's not a customer, for the most part, yeah. So you need somebody to come in and kind of straighten the business out and run the business. A partner." "Yeah, something like that, yeah." "Well, I could do that, but everything would have to be majority my way. 51% me, 49% you. I get the final say. Where the money goes, what gets paid, what gets done, etc., etc." "I don't know, let me think about it." Well, thinking about it turns into longer waiting, and then the rent is coming up for the lease, and yada, yada, yada. "Okay, you're struggling with the money to pay the lease. Well, here's a little extra cash. Here's $1,000 extra on top of what I pay every month to help you out. Does that help?" "Yeah, it does. It does help. It helps me. It'll make up for the rest of what I have to cover to make sure the lease is paid." "Okay, well, let me know. Let's talk." Next time I come in, weeks later after vacation and stuff, "Hey, what's going on? What did we decide?" "I don't know, Rich. I kind of want to be out of the business. I don't want to deal with, any of this stuff anymore. I just want to be done. I want to go back to the IT world. I want to have nothing to do with fixing cars anymore." "So you want to turn the business over to me?" "Sure. Yeah, why not?" "Okay, well, we'll do that. I'll run my own place here." Try to get a hold of the landlord. A week later, no call. 2 weeks later, no call. Try to get a hold of the landlord again. A few days later, no call. A week later, no call. Make this attempt 3 or 4 times. Landlord just ain't nowhere to be found. He's not interested in talking to nobody. And I asked him, "Is this normal? Is this customary for him?" "Well, yeah, he'll get his rent, and then you won't hear from him for an entire month. You won't see the guy for 6 months, a year, until there's something that has to be done, fixed, or changed on the property. If there's a problem, trying to get a hold of him to talk business or something like that, you can't get a hold of him. Something major happens, typically don't hear from the guy for weeks." "Well, sounds like I'm coming to get my stuff and I'm out of here. Sorry, fellas. Sorry, buddy. I can't do this. I'm not going to play games with this guy. And maybe it just wasn't in the cards for me to run this place. So I'm going to go elsewhere." That's how I ended up kind of where I am now, leaving the dealer and being a general manager at an independent shop, my buddy's independent shop. And we run the place like a partnership. Like both of us own the place. That's how we run the place. And I love it. So that's the explanation on what happened with my last shop and why I didn't continue to run that as my business. And I didn't feel comfortable talking about it until the people that were in that shop were out of it and no longer in my life. and the story was okay to tell. And that's the story. The problem with that last shop, and the reason it was failing, was because they never started that business to fix cars as a customer base, in and out, in and out, in and out, burn and turn. They started that business to fix cars on the performance side and dealt with more of their own buddies and stuff in vehicles that would sit for long periods of time with people with no money. And it failed. They were barely making enough money to keep the bills paid. That's why that last shop failed. Y'all be blessed. Take care. Remember, do something nice for somebody today. Hold a door, smile at a stranger. Check up on somebody you normally haven't checked, you wouldn't check up on. Y'all be blessed. Love y'all. Take care.